Good morning and welcome to Gooners View from Block 5 with me, your host SJ. First things first, as usual, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, please leave a 5-star review and a 5-star rating. These are all things that help the channel get a further reach and allow more people to come and listen to sensational content. Thank you very much. So the boys are back in town. Arsenal defeated Bilbao by 3 goals to nil in our last pre-season fixture before we start our Premier League journey next week, Sunday. Um, we're starting 11. It's a starting 11 that we expect to see next week against Man United, minus Calafiore, substituted out for MLS, I believe, or I'd guess so. Um, Overall, just look at the game overall, firstly, I'm not sure if Athletic Bilbao were bad or we made them look bad, but it was certainly a less sterner test than what Villarreal put up the other night. Um, And again, this could be because we put out our first 11. If you put your best players out there, you're likely to get the best results and make it harder for the opposition, which we did all game. Um, just going to the starting lineup, it was good to see Gabby and Timber out there getting more minutes. I do expect them to start next week. They did come off, but obviously that's just them work up their minutes as they come back from injury. Um, and I thought it was a good opportunity for Victor Gyökeres to play with the starting midfielders because the other night he played with what we'd say is our backup midfield three, and it was good for him to get some minutes with our starting three, and they get to work together and learn his game, in a match settings. Obviously, they probably worked on it in training. He's probably spoke to them behind the scenes on what he likes, what he doesn't like, but to see it implement in a game was good to see. Staying on Vic Gyökeres, his performance, I think it was a very good performance. Right from the get-go, from the first minute. There's a ball rolled up to him in the halfway line. Bang, he's strong, holds the defender off, and wins a free kick. And that pretty much sets the tone. If you've got other defenders looking at their fellow defender who they think is the strong lad in the squad, and they see the opposition striker holding them off at ease and win the free kick, it kind of like puts a marker in the head, like, oh gosh, okay, we might have to double up on this guy. Um, you know, Probably give this guy a yard and not try and nick the ball from because he's too strong for us. And that actually does happen later in the game, which I'll get to. Um, but yeah, Gyökeres, he started well, and that continued. He's making his runs in behind, and yeah, you can see the conscious effort with the team to pass the ball forward for him. He had a chance before he scored a goal. He did score a goal. Some good work down the right hand side by Zubimendi, releasing Saka, and then a cut back to Gyökeres, and you pretty much expect him to finish it. I think he's about 12 yards out on his stronger foot, and he just kind of scuffed it into the keeper's hands. But it's good that he's getting in those positions, he's in those positions to take those chances, get those chances. So yeah, it's not going to go his way every time. It's not going to be a 100% finisher, but as long as he's making the right movements and getting in those positions, that will bode well for the season. He did actually get his goal, like I said. Great work from Zubimendi, who had also a good game. We'll get on to him later. So the ball's gone back. Zubimendi, first time cross. Like I said, it's obviously something we'd probably discussed in training or in meetings before the game as to what Zubimendi likes, because he knew that ball was coming, and he's made a great run across his defender and puts a great header into the top corner past keeper. Keeper had no chance. And then the old celebration came out, which is what we hope to see many times this season. Um, yeah, going into the second, just staying on Gyökeres, his game continued that way. He was linking up well with players, continued making his runs. In the second half, he also had another chance. A good ball from Noni Madueke from the left. A very good header. This is obviously a player we discussed before who didn't score a header all of last season. It was a question mark, can he head the ball? And he showed us, well, he definitely showed me, yes, I can. I can definitely head the ball. But yeah, that ball came in from Noni Madueke, a good header at the near post, and it actually comes off the post. Again, good movement in the box to lose his marker and get his head on the ball. on another day that goes in, and he's coming with 2 goals, a brace. Uh, so yeah, I mean, like I said, from that first minute where he's held off the defender, it's put a marker in all the other defenders' heads that this guy is strong, and we might need to double up on him, which does happen in the second half. Again, we've gone long into Gyökeres. He's held off 2 defenders, and he's allowed Saka to be free on the right hand side. This could be a feature going forward. You know, we can see it in the season if we're knocking the ball to Gyökeres and he's holding off defenders. What it will mean is the fullback will have to come in and help assist with defending Gyökeres, which will also help create more space for Saka. Hopefully it continues. Um, Clearly that's something we've been working on. So yeah, it's good to see, you know. Another one of our new signings, Zubimendi. Is it is it too hyperbole to say the complete game? He's just missing a goal, to be honest. He got an assist, but he was instrumental in that midfield. I think he completed 94% of his passes, which is sensational given the actual volume of passes that he made. Um, and yeah, he was the main dictator of the first time passes. He made 4 or 5 first time passes during the game, including the one for the assist for Gyökeres. Um, and he was replicating that ball. You know that ball that Thomas Partey used to play out wide to Saka? Excuse me. Yeah, he was doing that a lot during the game. In terms of the distances of the passes that he was making out to Saka, which is good because we don't want to keep when we're slow with the build up, slow with the passing, it allows defenders to set up and actually essentially double up on Saka. But what we were doing was able just to get that ball out wide to Saka, and he could bang straight away, attack his fullback, and help us get up the pitch and make us look more dangerous overall. You know, um, it wasn't just passing. He made at least 4 or 5 recovery tackles. Very clean recovery tackles. No fouls at all in those. So he can do it both ways. He can do the attacking, and he's got a defensive side to him. Very clever. He's very clever with his positioning. His heat map wasn't all over the place. He basically stuck to the centre of the pitch. He's found himself in the box a couple of times in the second half, and obviously he was on the edge of the box to provide the assist for Gyökeres. Just focusing on the long balls of the team. The first time passes. It did seem like it was a theme of the team to, you know, do first time passes as opposed to passing it around horseshoe that we've been accustomed to previously. Um, Looking at all 3 goals, the first goal, first time pass from Zubimendi, which Gyökeres knew about. Second goal was a pass back and the first time knock over the top for Saka. I mean, for Martinelli, sorry. But because Saka was there also. So obviously the players know this is something they're working on. Runners in behind and first time passes to release them. And on the second goal, on that occasion, he had Martinelli running through together with Saka, which allowed Martinelli just to knock it to the side to Saka, finish into an open net, which is not an easy finish, by the way, on a weaker foot. And there's some players that would actually put that wide who could just hit that side net because it's on their weaker foot. And the pass was slightly under hit. But he finished that with a plum. And the third goal, a ball in Saka, first time knock over the top for Havertz. We'll get onto that goal shortly. But yeah, I mean, together, just overall, our long passing, we completed 73% of our long passing, which is pretty decent considering we had like 41 long pass attempts overall. So yeah, that bodes well for the season. It looks like we're able to, it's just a different way to play the game. Depending on the opposition, if the oppo is just accustomed to running back into a low block, then we might be able to just, get in behind before they're allowed to do so. I mean, it's what we've been after all pre-season, but it seems like we saved it all for the last game at home in front of our home fans. But yeah. The second half, we made some subs at half time. Noddy Madueke and Ben White came on, Calafiore and Gabriel Martinelli. Noddy, he had a pretty decent game, to be honest. He looked lively. He was trying to get involved as much as possible. Anytime he lost the ball, we saw him tracking back. Um, Good link-up play on the edge of the box. He was trying to, what I mean, trying to do a couple 1-2 passes. Um, Again, it's a lot of pressure on Nani. He's new to the club. Expectations going to be high for him purely because it wasn't a signing we were, you know, really interested in as a fan base. But he's here now. Um, I did say I want to see him go in and outside, which he did a couple of times today. Um, Yesterday. Go down the outside, go on the inside. So his fullback is having to think more on how to defend him as opposed to always going around the outside and making it easier to cover him. And I think he did that today. He came in, like I said, he came inside as one. There was one sequence where he come inside and played 2-1-2s. There was actually a pass onto someone on the right, and someone was open on the right hand side, but he didn't miss. He missed it and played to the person who was further inside. But yeah, it was a decent performance for Money. He actually scored his penalty this time in the penalty shootout after. I don't think that was actually a good penalty itself again. If the keeper goes the right way, he saves it. But that's neither here nor there. Bukayo Saka, he looks sharp. He's clearly been he looks like someone who's actually been building up game by game over pre-season. And yeah, he looked very sharp in that first half. He slowed down towards the end. I mean, he had that. You saw in the last couple of minutes, he had that ball over the top. Again, a first-time pass from Zubimendi, where he's through one-on-one with the keeper, and the defender managed to get back. He tried to cut inside, probably similar to how he did against Tottenham a couple of years ago, cutting inside and probably bending the bottom corner. But yeah, I mean, that's just, like I said, just a bit of pre-season tiredness, and he's working his way to full fitness. So hopefully he should be fine and raring to go next Sunday, you know. Kai Havertz, so I'll get to him. He's come on. And like I said before, he's looking like a good plan B for us. We can all see that he's beefed up over the summer. Looks a different prospect. Provides an aerial threat. I mean, he's seemingly got the pace to get in behind as well, which happened for his goal. Again, that was a first-time pass over the top from Saka. Kai Havertz showing a great turn of pace to get away from defenders. And as the defender actually getting back, and he's actually got a nudge in the back, a little tug of the shirt, which actually I think helps. I think when he gets a little nudge in the back, he now has to focus on the accuracy of the shot, sorry, as opposed to getting power because he's off balance. He's not going to be able to get the full power in that shot. So his attention fully turns to making sure the shot is accurate on the target. And yeah, and it was that. It was that and more. He fighted that bottom corner very well. And it was a great way to end his pre-season. I personally think he's had a good pre-season, coming back from his injury. I thought he looked good against AC Milan. Had good bright spells against Newcastle, a bit quiet against Tottenham. But in this game, I think he's come on and he's shown that he can provide very good cover for Victor Gyökeres, or even start some games. They could rotate. But like I said, you expect Gyökeres to start the majority of games. He's a big signing coming to deliver us the Premier League title. Could it be a case they can play up front together? I'm not too sure. If Havertz playing that left eight, he could possibly get up alongside Gyökeres and make it a 4-4-2 when we're attacking. I mean, we've got options now. We have options, which is what we've wanted because we've basically relied on the first 11 for a number of seasons now. But we now have options to, a team can't just set up and think we're going to set up in this one way, which is good, That's something we need. I mean, obviously now our focus turns to the Premier League season, which starts next week. I'm not sure if the boys are going to have another quick tune-up game behind closed doors. They often do sometimes, just to allow Gabriel, maybe Calafiore, Timber, players on the bench like Ethan that didn't get many minutes, Marina didn't get many minutes, Kai Havertz didn't get many minutes. They might have a preseason and just another preseason game behind closed doors to get them up to speed. Who else did come on? Zinni, Christian Norgard didn't get any minutes, Lokonga, Nelson, Kivior. Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we find out during this week that they had another game behind closed doors just to get minutes into those players' legs. Um, in preseason overall, it was an up and down preseason. We started well, I think, against AC Milan, and we had a couple of drab performances against Tottenham and Villarreal. But I think the way we've ended with our starting 11, um, it bodes well for the season. We still need a couple more signings, in my opinion. I think we need a left midfielder, a left wing forward. Um, Obviously, we've had the links to Rodrigo, possibly on loan. I'm not sure if they'll loan their player to us by an obligation. Um, Eze, he's been linked to us quite a while. I mean, for quite a while. Sorry, that's gone a bit quiet. You'd think maybe if they get into Europa League, they want to keep him. You know, um, so let's hope they don't stay in the Europa League and get put into the conference. But I mean, outside that, we've had Anthony Gordon links, Liao, but I do think we need to address that side and give more help to Martinelli. Who I think had a decent game today, actually. To be honest, he didn't. He's a player who has very little touches. When you check the stats, I think today he made seven. He had seven passes, 7 to 9 passes. So he's not a player who's heavily involved because we know we do tend to just attack down our right hand side naturally because Saka's our best outlet. Um, but yeah, he made that run in behind. I think he will be someone who will stretch a pitch if he's playing off the left with those out to in runs. So he's a nuisance. He may not get touches, but I think Martinelli is a nuisance with his pace, which helps us stretch the pitch. And you still have to keep an eye on him because on his day he can finish um, very well. Sometimes he doesn't finish, but on his day he can finish very well, as we know. Um, so yeah, I mean, we're back during the week of our upcoming season predictions. Um, so yeah, I hope you have a blessed weekend, and until next time, everyone, all the best.